Something that really, really interests me as well in both of your work is there's this thing about dramatising, dramatising within a novel. So you get periods of great dramatisation and storytelling within a novel, but not traditional storytelling, but actually with dialogue and patches of dialogue. But also your experiences in both writing drama and being adapted. I know you've been adapted a lot, Fay, and this extraordinary experience that you've had of entering Theatreland, which I think has been an amazing thing as well. So, Fay.
Well, I started out writing television drama. First of all, I wrote television commercials, and then you realise you're using exactly the same skills to sell product. And actually, a commercial is just a short story selling a product, but if you wrote a play, it would be a long story selling an idea, which would much more create and much more interesting. So that was really how one began, and began simply writing drama and just sort of setting scenes with three lines at the top of what it was going to be, because people who set it up would always set things up the middle of the road, a middle income, middle looks, middle everything, unless you told them, put in one adjective of the contrary, and then you would just write the drama. And in a television commercial, you write the message of the little story down that end, the words, and then you fill in the pictures. This is how I did it, on two sides of the page. So you got in your head a sort of dichotomy of how you were going to, what was going to happen. And then writing television drama, you would just, you learned how to structure and how to shape. And the first time I tried to write a novel, I had no idea how to get people out of a room. Or they went into a party. I mean, when would you stop? When would you get them out of this party? Describe everybody in the room. I mean, it was hopeless. But once you'd done a bit of television writing with a little scene which had to come to an end, and you could just cut, you just edited, you just waited till, and then you said you just finished the scene on some dramatic note, and then you went on to the next one. That's one sort of learned structure.
The difference in writing plays is that you have these pesky people on the stage. I mean,
and you've got to get them and move them in and out of the stage.
The excitement, it's a chess game, isn't it, of moving these people around. I find that really exciting about where they are in their position in space and time.
Yes.
And you can't just do cut.
And then the first novels, I just because the director was in charge, and the actors would act and put the wrong expression on their face. And then it just occurred to me that the only way to control this properly is to write the whole thing out as a novel. So they were just novelizations of dramas, which one sort of oddly robbed the actors of everything that they'd put into it. And could describe all that, and then send it as a novel. Yeah. So that was the first 3 novels that I wrote, and then you realise that actually they're not really novels; it's sort of cheating in some way. And this is why they're all written in the early ones were all written in the present tense, because I was just writing out the play. You see.
Yeah, of course, because the stage directions are always in the present.
So I was just copying it out as fast as I could.
You did say to me something really useful, which was an idea for a play or a drama can always be turned into a novel. So that's what you've just said, this novelisation of dramatic ideas.
You can do it the other way.
Yeah, but you said be careful the other way when I spoke to you about it.
It is more difficult. No, it is more difficult.
You said. Yeah. And because you did that, I then did exactly what you said and turned a play idea into a novel.
Into a novel.
Yeah.
It's easy. I don't know why it doesn't work that way, but not the other way.
No, but I think you're absolutely right. And I think it is to do with control, and it is to do with filling in when you write it as a novel. Did you lose control when you had these extraordinary dramatisations done? And you just got the BBC... When did you say, sorry, is it February or spring?
Well, the BBC series, it's not officially announced yet, but almost certainly it will be January. Right. It's a 6-part series, completely different from the stage production, different writers, actors, different storylines. Yet, they're both very satisfying and a good representation of the original material. I think they've both taken good advantage of their medium, but there's no sense of I have been here before, not even for me. So I think it will be all right for the viewers.
And when you first started working on the RSC adaptations, was that the first time that you'd been involved in theatre writing or adaptations?
Yes, it was. Mike Poulton was a very experienced dramatist and experienced adapter, and I was very fortunate to work with him through about 9 drafts. I think it was round about the midway process that I got very actively involved. What he did at the beginning, I simply couldn't have done. He took down the structure of the books and he invented a new structure. He chose and he said, these are the storylines we will follow, and we will cut out certain shapes. Now, it would have been very complicated for me to it's the business of seeing the wood for the trees. I'm not sure I could have got there. The further we got towards the finished product, the greater my contribution became, until I eventually found myself, as it were, in the rehearsal room, which was quite unexpected to me.
Did you not expect that to happen?
Not at all. I mean, why would I? Because the whole process was new to me. And, you come to a point where you're keen to observe the etiquette of your new trade, and you want to be quiet and see how this strange world operates. And then there comes a point where you think, oh, this isn't working very well. And then you wait for somebody to have an idea, realise no one's got one.
Yes.
That's where you begin. But that makes it sound like a very negative process, and it wasn't really. The fact is, this is very strange adaptation, because normally when a book is adapted, it's finished, the book is closed. In this case, I am immersed in the creative process, the process of the third book, which continually reflects back on the earlier books, flashes back to them, casts new light, holds up a mirror to what's gone before. And at the same time, the stage adaptations were going on of an unfinished work. So what I found was, and this is most unexpected and glorious, is that the two processes work together beautifully. And there's been a free flow between what I'm doing and what the actors are doing. And you see, the great curse for the historical novelist is hindsight. You can't do without it, but the fact is that there's a contradiction here. You know what happened, but you have to suspend your knowledge because your characters don't know. So all the time you must be walking forward with them into the dark, into an unknown future. Now, when you're involved in a stage production, everything is happening exactly as you said, in the present tense. And you're night after night, as you watch rehearsals, you watch performance, you're pinned to the moment. The actors do that for you. And it's an enormous gift to a writer. And of course you will see a certain scene, particularly very intense two-handed scenes. You go through to the point where the actors are listening to each other, and then the scene becomes different night by night. And for a moment, this magical thing happens. It seems the process of history is suspended. It might just work out different. And of course, that is the jewel in the crown for an imaginative writer, to put the contingency back into the process, suspend everything. That has been a kind of gift given to me by working with the actors, and it has been a time, I think in the last year, I've probably learned more. I won't say just as a writer, but as a creative person than I have in the previous 10. And I've also had more fun than ever in my life.